Hello there, welcome everyone. Today we'll be working with blocks. So if you have some blocks, you can grab them. If you don't, you could use something like a short stool, or very thick books could work too. And we'll also be working with a strap. If you don't have a strap, you could use a bathrobe tie or a necktie. And then once you have those things in place, you can just come onto your back. And let the feet come to the floor, the knees bent. And just letting the feet be about hip distance apart. You can even let the knees come together. And let the hands either rest, both hands on your belly, one hand to belly, one hand to your chest, or you could simply just have the arms next to your body. Wherever you choose to have your hands, invite the shoulders to hug down away from the ears a bit. Notice tension in your jaw. Invite it to relax. And as you're resting here, let's begin to tune in to the spine. With the knees bent, you might not have as much curve in the lower back as normal, but just noticing the subtle curves of the spine. Just noticing where you feel like your spine is a bit bunched up. And just tuning into this space, inviting in more flow. As we become present to the spine and the areas that we might be creating tension in the spine, this can be an indication of where we're creating tension in our lives. So if we're feeling that tension, the spine behind the heart, maybe we're contracting our heart. If we're feeling it more in the lower back, we might be cutting off the energy of our solar plexus or our pelvic area. And if we're feeling it in the neck, maybe there's something we're trying to avoid in our mind. Just feeling the spine as the central channel of connection between earth and heaven. And as you're lying on your back, it's the channel of the horizon where sky and earth meet. And inviting in your breath. And we'll take a few breaths here on the back, breathing first into your collarbones. So you might feel them puff up towards the ceiling or the sky. Then the ribs open in all directions, so feeling your back open to receive the breath, your side body. Then feel the belly expand. As you exhale, feel the belly deflate, and the ribs, then the upper chest under the collarbones. So just a couple more breaths like this. First, feeling yourself filling from collarbones, and the rest of the rib cage opens to receive the breath, and the belly relaxes open to receive the breath. And the exhale is just a letting go. Okay, so now we'll take the arms overhead, let the legs straighten out in front of you. Give yourself a nice stretch. If a yawn wants to come, invite that. And reach through your right side body, and then the left side body. And we'll bring the knees over the hips. You can hold on to the knees or the shins and gently press the lower back into the mat as you press your knees against your hands. Feel that lift the shoulder blades off the mat. Press the back of the head down to lengthen the neck. And let the knees come to the chest. We'll take the arms nice and wide and just start to rotate knees side to side. So you don't need to bring them all the way to the floor. Just gentle rotation of the spine. Let the hands support you. Inhale as you come to the side. Exhale as you come center. Hug the legs together. One more each way. And we'll let the feet come down, hip distance apart again. Hands come next to the hips. As you press into your heels, imagine you're pushing the heels apart. Flatten the lower back. Let that lift the lower back and the spine. And we'll take the arms towards the ceiling, then they continue overhead until they touch the floor behind your head. And as you exhale, let the spine come down, let the hands come next to the hips. So as best you can, simultaneously moving the spine and the arms. Melting down, bringing the arms next to the body as you come down. This next one will hold, so feel the lift. And let the arms touch the floor behind you. Let them relax. Press into the heels, lifting the lower back just a little more. And we'll just rock a little side to side. We'd like to take a little circle, dropping the hips, circling them to one side, bringing them back up. That's great. So just feel what feels nice to your spine, whether to just sway the hips or to circle them around. And slowly come on down. We'll bring the knees to the chest. Bring the knee toward, or the nose towards your knees, and we'll begin to rock forward and back until you're able to gently come to a seat. Cross the ankles, and then come onto hands and knees. So we'll continue a little bit with that movement through the spine. So you can feel the heart open as you gaze forward. Feel cow pose. Exhale, press into the hands, round the spine. And now open the chest, shoulders out of the ears. Relax your face. Exhale, press into the hands and the knees, round the spine. And one more time to feel the spine lengthen. Exhale, feel the front of the spine contract as the back of the spine opens. And as you come to a flat back, you can move your hips side to side. Maybe bring them towards your shoulders. Maybe sit back. Just kind of feel into what the hips are craving in terms of stretching. Then we'll do the same in the shoulders. You can move them side to side, shifting your weight on your hands. You can rock forward and back. You can move one shoulder, then the other. Then let the hips and shoulders move simultaneously and just let it be a free flow. So no particular pattern, just whatever feels good to you. The head can release. Maybe blow through the lips. Now we'll curl the toes under and lift into down dog. And let yourself walk in place. Enjoy some stretch through the back body, letting the toes spread apart. The head release a little more. We'll walk the feet to the hands, slowly coming to standing. So keeping the knees bent as you float yourself up. And we'll shift our weight to the toes. The hands can be together in front of the chest. hugging the shoulder blades down the back. So as you feel your weight on your toes, just feel them gently grip the mat. The knees can be a little bit soft. Nice, we'll take a breath in, letting the arms float up. Soften the knees. Reach forward as you fold to a flat back. Then let yourself melt into the forward bend. Let the head go. Then we'll lift to a flat back. The hands can be to the shins, hugging the shoulders towards the hips. And let the hands come to the mat, step to a plank. And whether you stay in full plank as you shift forward and lower, or come to the knees, either is fine. We'll come to the belly. Press into the tops of the feet. Feel the kneecaps lift. Press the pubic bone into the floor as you lift your heart. Throat comes forward to lift the chin. We'll press to the knees. Curling the toes under and coming into down dog. Head can release. Now your choice whether you walk the feet to the hands or if you want to take the float, feel free to do that. Lifting to your flat back, inhale. Release into the forward bend, exhale. And we'll reach forward. Let the hips tuck down a little bit so you have that nice length as you come through your flat back on your way up to standing. Arms floating up. Bend the knees, come into that flat back on your way into your forward bend. Head releases at the bottom. Then come to your flat back. Hands can be to shins. Hands to the mat. You can step back to plank or take the float back to low chaturanga. Elbows hug the body as you lower. You're choosing to come to up dog. Try to press into the feet, lift the kneecaps. And press into the hands and the feet to lift and come into down dog. Heels sink towards the mat. Armpits hug back towards the hips. Release the neck and jaw. Let the breath empty, then bring your feet to your hands. You can walk them or take a float. Lifting to your flat back, breath in. Folding with the breath out. We'll reach the arms forward, rising up. Just letting the arms come next to the body. Maybe turn the palms forward, hugging the shoulders down the back. And again, you can let your weight shift towards your toes. Just feel that gentle grip of the toes, helping to support the ankles and the knees. We'll bring the big toes together and come into chair pose. So as you bend the knees, let the sit bones tuck down and under a little bit. Let the arms rise and press the shoulder blades forward and up. Let the throat come forward to lift the chin. Maybe the hips can drop down and under a little more. We'll take a forward bend, exhale. Release in the neck. Come to your flat back, breath in. Hands to the mat. You can step back or float back. Elbows close as you lower. Take your time coming to your back bend. And then take it to down dog. Heels sinking towards the earth. Shoulder blades hugging back towards the hips. We'll take the right leg up and back. Breathing in. Stretch through the toes. Draw the knee towards your nose and step the foot forward. And we'll come into warrior one. Left heel roots, each foot on its own track. As you rise, press the arms forward and up. Spiral the back thigh forward. And as you sink into the front knee, feel that thigh opening. Beautiful. And then we'll plant the hands. Step right foot to meet left. Let the hips tuck down and forward to shift you and lower you towards the mat. Breath into your back bend. And breath out, down and off. We'll take the left leg up. Stretch through your toes. Bring the knee towards your nose as you step forward. Start warrior one. Right heel rooting. Bending the left knee. Feel that spiral through the thigh. So you feel that turn out of the front thigh. Back thigh turns forward. Hands come to the mat. Left foot meets right. Moving from the bottom of the hips to shift forward and lower. Breathing in to your back bend. Breathing out, we'll come into down dog. Heels rooting to the earth. Head released. Shoulders hugging towards the hips. Let the breath empty. Step or float feet to hands. Lifting to your flat back, inhale. Taking the forward bend, exhale. We'll come to our chair pose, bending the knees. Let the hips tuck down as you rise up. Pressing the shoulders forward and up. Beautiful. We'll take the forward bend, exhale. Head releases. Inhale, flat back. Moving through your vinyasa. We step back or float back. Elbows close as you lower. Breathing into your back bend. And breathing out to down dog. We'll take the right leg up again. Reach through the toes. Knee draws forward to step forward. Rooting the left heel. Rising to warrior one. Pressing the shoulder blades forward and up. Press the mat apart with the feet. And hands frame the right foot. Right foot meets left. Moving from the bottom of the hips to shift forward and lower. Breath in. Press the sit bones forward to help the front body open. Take it to down dog. Left leg comes up. Knee draws to the nose to step forward. Right heel rooting. Spiraling right thigh forward. Left thigh out, rising up. Pressing the shoulder blades forward. Press the mat apart with the feet. And the hands come down, left foot meets right. Shifting forward to lower. Breath in to your back bend. Breath out to down dog. Beautiful. Heels rooting, head releasing. As you gaze at your navel, we'll bring the feet to the hands, taking the step or the float. Lifting flat back, breath in. Folding, breath out. Bending the knees, hips tuck down, arms float up. Pressing the shoulder blades forward and up. Beautiful. Now from here, we'll fold. Bringing right hand to right shin. Left foot will step back in line with the right foot. Have just a little bit of turn in with the left foot, but turn the thigh just a little more forward. Let the palm of the right hand come to the inside of the calf and press the hips towards the left side of the mat. And we'll take left arm up against the ear. Press that shoulder blade towards the left side of the mat a little bit. Check that your front foot is rooted on the inside. So sometimes the weight wants to shift to the outside of the foot. So root into the inner heel, big toe at the ball of the foot. Then let the right shoulder hug towards your chest a little bit. Left armpit comes towards the left side of the mat. Either continue to look at the right foot, or you can look up underneath the left arm towards the ceiling. And lastly, feel into straightening the left knee. Feel that kneecap lift if you're choosing to straighten the knee. Feel your spine. Feel the ribs, how they open to create more space in the spine when you breathe in. How they stabilize the spine as you breathe out. Nice. And then we'll sweep, left arm back, bend the right knee. Press the left palm back towards that heel. Press the right palm up towards the ceiling, feeling the stretch through the right ribs, contraction through the left ribs. Keep spiraling the left thigh forward, right thigh spirals out. And then push the mat apart with your feet. You might deepen your stance a little bit. Beautiful. Then we'll come up, feet come parallel. We'll sweep the right arm underneath the left, stacking the elbows, and you can either take a vine shape with the hands or just hold your shoulders. Let the heels turn towards each other. As you sink into a squat, feel the bottom of your hips tuck down and forward. Press the elbows forward so you feel your spine open in your back. Tuck the chin slightly, opening the back of the neck. Feel the knees spiral open. Nice. Then we'll release the hands. As you straighten the legs, the hands can come overhead. Then sink down. Let the left arm come underneath the right now. Pressing the elbows forward. Press the bottom of the hips down and under. Nose tucks, opening the spine in your back. Opening the knees, maybe sink a little deeper. Nice, then we'll come up, let the arms come shoulder height, and wiggle left foot into the right, let the right foot turn forward, and then come on to the left big toe. Now as you're here, you might feel your right hip trying to swing out towards the right. So hug it towards the left side of the mat, and really think that you're trying to turn the leg against the floor. So it's like you're trying to screw your foot into the mat. Then press right palm up, left palm down, open right rib cage, contracted left rib cage. That might lift the left leg. So variation of half moon here. Great, keep the standing knee soft. Roll the left thigh down a little more. Keep reaching with the right hand so you're open in the ribs. As soon as that arm drops, the ribs will want to collapse on the right side. We want to feel that contraction on the left side. Great, and sweep the right arm back. Roll the shoulders forward so you're in warrior three. Roll the right knee down, or left knee, excuse me. And we'll hug knee to chest and release the foot. And as the feet come back together, we'll come into chair pose, so the knees bend, sinking towards the earth. And as the arms come up, press the shoulder blades forward and up. Let the throat come forward to lift the chin, but be soft in your gaze. Let the left hand come to left shin, right foot steps back. Nice, so aligning right foot with left heel, pushing the hips towards the right side of the mat. Left palm comes to the inside of the calf. So to help that shoulder hug in towards the chest, which creates a little more side bend to the left. Then we'll take the right arm overhead so the biceps against the ear. Press that shoulder blade towards the right side of the mat. Press into the right heel, invite that hip to press a little more towards the right side of the mat. Stay rooted on the inside of the left foot and feel into straightening that knee. The gaze can be at the left foot or at the ceiling. Again, feel the spaciousness created by your breath. And as the ribs open with your inhale, feel that create length in your spine. And as you exhale, feel that create stability through the spine. Let the right arm sweep back, bend the left knee, and then press left palm up towards the ceiling, right palm towards the heel. Keep the right thigh turning forward, left thigh turning out, but staying rooted on the inside of the left foot. And we'll come up, turn to face the side of the mat, and let the left elbow come underneath the right. Then you can hold the shoulders or take the hands around into a vine shape. Pressing the shoulders forward. And as you bend the knees, tuck the sit bones down and under. So you feel your tailbone connecting to the earth. Little chin tuck, opening space in the back of the neck. And we'll free up the arms as they come overhead. Straighten the legs. Sink back into your squat, letting the right elbow come under the left. Pressing the shoulders forward. Sit bones tucked down and under. Knees open. Breathe. Then we'll free up the arms As you shift your weight to your left foot, just wiggle right foot in until you're able to come onto the big toe. Turn the left toes forward. Press the left palm up towards the ceiling. Right palm presses towards right heel. And just as I was saying on the right side, if you feel your hip want to swing over to the left, hug it towards the right side of the mat and really turn the left thigh as if you're trying to screw your foot into the floor. And as you press into the left hand, keeping the left ribs open, and right palm presses towards the heel, contracting the right ribs, let the right leg come up. Soften standing knee, make sure you can stay rooted through the foot. That foot can still face forward. Then swing left arm back, roll right knee down. And we'll hug right knee to the chest, or you can just bring big toe to the floor in front of you. Hug the shoulders down, tuck the chin. And releasing the leg. Feet come together. Beautiful. So we'll keep the big toes together. Let the heels come apart a little bit. And just feeling your weight shift towards your toes and the sit bones tucked down and under. So you'll feel your glutes kind of firm up as you do that. And keep that nice lengthening in the lower back. We'll bring the hands together in front of the chest to help the shoulders hug down towards the hips. It's almost like you're doing a bit of a crunch here. And we'll press the shoulder blades forward as you reach your arms in front of you. The hands want to come apart, just let them do that. Especially as we're going to bring the arms towards the ceiling. So the more you can push your shoulder blades forward, the more support you'll have for your arms. If you start to strain, just take the hands apart. Nice. Now we're going to move the bottom of the hips, the sit bones down and under a little more. And then feel the inhale move up the belly, the ribs, the chest. If you have the fingertips together, feel as if they're being pulled up towards the ceiling and forward. And let the throat come forward to lift the chin. Keep pressing the sit bones down and under. Now, a lot of us are pretty flexible in the joint between at the base of the ribs and the lower back. So we tend to fold in half there. But that can be unstable. So we want to stabilize that by feeling the bottom of the hips push forward a little more. Then feel the ribs come off your hips. And that might take you a little deeper without strain or pinching in that area. Then inhale, rise back up. Exhale, bend the knees. Let the hands come behind the legs. You can hug the legs, let the head drop. Feel your weight shift towards your toes to help the head release a little more. That might also help the knees straighten a bit. Nice. So now we'll bring the hands to the shins, lift to a flat back, breath in. And you can move to down dog or take a vinyasa, your choice. Either stepping back or floating back. Elbows hug in if you're lowering. Breath into your back bend. Press into the feet. Press the sit bones down and forward. Press into the hands. And exhale, press into the hands and feet to come into down dog. Beautiful. Now we'll take the right leg up. Breath in. Exhale, bring the knee towards your nose, and we'll step the foot between the hands. We'll come to a high lunge. Feel the hips tucked down and forward, gently floating up. Nice, pressing the shoulder blades forward and up. Sit bones down and under. Beautiful. Now, feel the front knee. If it wants to fold in, see if you can feel the bottom of that hip tucked down and under a little more to help that knee spiral open. We'll turn the palms to face the ceiling. Bend the elbows so fingertips come towards the shoulders. Feel the elbows press forward, opening your upper back. Tuck the sit bones down and forward. We'll rotate to the right. So the navel moves to the right, ribs and chest move to the right. Then the hands can press out to the right. Can stay there or come to the left knee. Then let the left hand come onto right knee. Right arm wraps behind you. Now notice if the right hip is trying to pull back. Feel that sit bone tuck down and forward. Now you can go deeper still by hugging right knee to the left and sliding left armpit to the outside of the right thigh and lift the left knee. If you're there, then you can take the right arm over your head. So feeling the navel rotate a little more to the right, ribs and chest rotate. Grab the arm over your head, press the shoulder towards the right side of the mat a little bit. And if you have the left knee lifted, feel it hug the thigh bone. Nice. Exhale, we'll all fold, framing the right foot. Here you can work with a block if you choose. I'm going to take the left heel down so it aligns with the right heel. Right hand can either stay on the outside of the right foot, you could use a block there, or you could even bring your elbow on top of the thigh. So whichever variation you're working with, feel the left thigh turn in, press into that heel. Feel the right sit bone hug towards the left side of the mat. And then take the left arm overhead. Breathe, relax the jaw. Feel the breath in, opening the ribs, creating space in the spine. Exhale, creating stability. And let the left hand come down. Lift the left heel. Okay, so now we'll bring left hand to the mat. You can bring it flat to the mat and a little bit forward. Option 1 here, simply reach up with the right hand. Option 2 here, turn both feet to the right. So you end up on the outer edge of the left foot and you're on the bottom of the right foot. Push with left hand and the feet to lift the hips. Then the right arm comes over your head. If you have that arm over your head, press the shoulder towards your right knee a little bit. Then breathe in, feel the spine opening. Breathe out, press into your hands and feet. Find a little more lift in the hips. Nice. Now, if you have this twisting skandasana with both feet facing left, reach the right hand over the hip and let yourself sink. If you're just in the twist, you can just hold that for another breath or two. Beautiful. And then we'll unwind, bringing the hands to the inside of the right foot. Turn to face the side of the mat. Bend the left knee, and you can stay in a high side lunge. Or if you're going low, we're going to take the hands out. Feel the sit bones tuck down towards the floor. Turning the right thigh out a little more. Then hug the shoulders towards your hips, hips towards your shoulders. Beautiful. And we'll walk the hands in. And a couple options here. If you're in the low skandasana and you know your knee's okay with this, you could slide the right leg out and then bring left knee down. If that's not okay on the left leg, you could either just straighten the leg out or bend the knee. So if you're here and you're having a hard time sitting up, feel like I really can't get myself forward, try straightening the leg out and see if that helps. Then we'll turn the palms up towards the ceiling, pressing the shoulders forward and up. Feel the sit bones hug into the mat. And keep pushing the left hand forward and a little to the right as you bend the right elbow. Okay. So we're going to bring right elbow to the inside of the thigh. The right leg can just turn out. That foot can just relax for now. Then you can turn your right hand towards your left leg. And the left arm will take around behind the back. Okay, so whichever position your left leg in, see if you can root into the right sit bone a little more. Hug the right shoulder towards the center of your chest and invite the head to just relax to the right. Relax your jaw. Notice if the back of the neck is trying to collapse. Tuck the chin towards the throat to give it some more space. Next, then we'll reach back with the left arm to come up. So wherever you are, whether you're in this position, or left leg out, let the hands frame the right thigh and just rotating to turn that leg. Feel into walking the hands towards your calf or your heel and letting the chin tuck towards the notch between your collarbones. So the crown is aiming towards your knee. Okay. So if you're here, you'll feel the left hip uproot, which is okay. And if you're able to catch your heel, just take your time there. Once you have the heel, then you could flex the foot. But make sure you're using your quad muscle to lift the knee first before you flex. That will keep your IT band safe, your sciatic nerve safe as well. And we'll slowly come up. So whichever leg position you're in, just swing the legs around to the front. Bend the knees, cross the ankles, come onto all fours, and then into down dog. Let the heels sink towards the earth, shoulder blades hug back towards the hips. Beautiful. Then we'll bring the feet to the hands. You can step or walk them forward. Bend the knees, we'll reach forward to rise up. Great, and just let the hands come together. And we'll use our strap here. Okay. So I've made a loop in my strap. So if you have a bathrobe tie, you could just tie a loop in it. And I'm going to be standing on the right leg and bring the left foot into it. So left palm faces the ceiling on the top side of the loop, foot comes into the bottom. Then I'll rotate the leg behind me and bring left elbow up towards the ceiling. So you'll have to kind of feel into whether your loop needs to be bigger or smaller, but you want to be able to get both hands into the strap once you have the foot behind you. Soften the right knee, push with the left foot against the strap. Keep the elbows close to your ears. You'll feel your shoulders try to pull back, but resist as the foot pushes into it. That will keep you more stable. You can let your body tilt forward. Great. Take your time, bringing the foot towards your hip. Release the right hand and let the legs swing around to release the strap. And we'll bring the big toes back together. Palms together in front of the heart. Weight shifts towards your toes. Tuck the hips down. Then press the hands forward. Shoulder blades spread across your back. And as the arms come up, keep pushing the shoulders forward. Press the bottom of your hips forward to uncurl the spine. Let the throat come forward to lift the chin, keeping space in the back of the neck. Keep pressing from the bottom of the hips. And feel the back ribs lift off your hips. Exhale, take the forward fold. And hug the legs. Release the head. Shifting your weight towards your toes to feel into straightening the knees. Nice, and then release the hands, come to a flat back, and then you can move to down dog or take a vinyasa, and we'll meet in down dog. And once you come to down dog, let the left leg come up and back. Bring the knee towards your nose to step forward. We'll come to our high lunge. So I'm moving from the bottom of the hips. I push them down and forward, and that just allows the spine to uncurl. And then you can reach up with the hands, pressing the shoulder blades forward and up. Throat comes forward to lift the chin. We'll turn the palms up, bend the elbows, bringing the fingers towards the shoulders. Press the shoulders forward, elbows forward. Rotate from the belly button to the left, ribs, then chest. Press the hands out to the left, maybe stay there, and come onto the right knee. Next step, right hand comes to the left thigh, left arm wraps behind, left sit bone tucks down and forward. Final variation, if you choose it, is to hug the left knee to the right. Bring your right shoulder blade to the outside of the thigh, fingers on the mat, then lift the right foot, or right knee, excuse me. And left arm sweeps over your head. Breathe. Press the left armpit towards the left side of the mat. Tuck the hips down and under. Nice. And then let both hands come down, frame the left foot. Left hand can stay on the outside of the foot. Use your block there if you choose. Or bring elbow to thigh. Let the right foot come down so it lines up with the left foot. Tuck the hips towards the right side of the mat. And then let right bicep come against the ear. Press the shoulder towards the right side of the mat. Press the hips towards the right side of the mat. At the same time, press into the right heel. Turn that thigh in a little bit. And let the head release. Nice. And we'll bring right hand down to the inside of the left foot. Lift the right heel. And you can either take the twist, just reaching up at the left hand, or bring the right hand forward, turn both feet to the left. Make sure you're flexing the right foot on the pinky toe side, and that you're able to bring the whole bottom of the left foot into the mat. Push down with the feet in the right hand as the left arm comes overhead if you're taking this twisting skandasana. Feel the breath. Open your ribs. The exhale creates stability. Then we'll let the left arm sweep back, sink into the hips. If you're just reaching up towards the ceiling with the left hand, you could just hold that for another breath or two. And we'll come around to the other side of the mat. So as the hands come to the inside of the left foot, just let your feet turn to face the side of the mat. Bend the right knee. So you could stay in this high position if you choose. But if you're comfortable coming to the right heel, bring the hands between the legs and walk them forward. With the head bow, feel the sit bones tucked towards the earth. Spiral the left knee out just a little more. And you can flex the foot, but feel that kneecap lift if you're flexing the left foot. Nice. And then we'll walk the hands in. And you can slide left foot out or go back the other way. We'll come to a seat wherever you choose to go. So right knee can be facing the front. You can have the right leg extended out or the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. So we'll press the palms up towards the ceiling, press the shoulder blades forward. Keep the right hand pressing forward as you bend the left elbow, bringing it towards the left inner thigh. Then left hand turns towards the right leg, and the right arm can come around behind you. The head can just release to the left. Again, notice if the head's tilting back, collapsing the back of the neck. If that's happening, tuck the chin a little bit. Left shoulder can push towards your chest. Nice. And if you feel like you want to get a deeper position, you can feel the left kneecap lift as you hug the quad to the bone. Nice. Then we'll reach out with the right hand to come up. Frame the left thigh with your hands, just gently turning your chest to align with that leg. Hands can walk towards the left calf or heel. And as you bring the head down, tuck the chin to the collarbones. Hug the shoulders towards your hips as you relax forward. And again, you can feel the quad active, then feel into flexing the foot. Beautiful. Then we'll rise up. Breath in, just sweep the right leg around. And we'll cross ankles, come onto all fours, and then into down dog. Feel free to take a vinyasa if you choose, or just take a moment in down dog. Then we'll bring the feet to the hands. And we'll reach forward to rise up. Coming to standing, palms together at the heart. And we'll work with our strap again. So this time standing on the left foot. We'll bring right palm into the strap facing up, right foot into the strap on the bottom. Okay, so just notice as you're shifting your weight to your left foot, where your hip wants to go. See if you can feel the hip bone hug towards your heel, your left heel. Let that help you find more stability as you sweep the right arm around, bringing the foot behind you. Elbows straight up. Then left hand comes into the strap to meet up with the right. Bend the left knee a little bit. Push the right foot into the strap. Press the elbows forward a little bit. So you create that tension between your right foot and your elbows. That will help steady you. Notice if the right knee is trying to lift out to the side. Roll that thigh in a little bit. Breathing. Nice. When you're ready to come out of it, let the left hand come out first. Bring the right heel in towards the hip. And then let the leg come around, release the strap. Nice. We'll take an inhale, arms rise. Exhale, take a forward fold. Look towards your navel. Nice. Now we'll bend the knees and let the knees come apart. You can reach forward and fold. Feel free to just enjoy a stretch here. If you want to work on the arm balance, you can slide the hands level with the head and the shoulders, and hug the elbows towards your feet as you bend the knees. The knees can come to your armpits. And you want to think forward rather than up. If you think up, then the hips will come up, but then the head will go straight down. But if you think forward, especially if you can move from the bottom of your hips, you'll feel your fingers able to grip the mat. Then the heels will naturally lift. And then we'll land the feet, come to down dog. If you'd like to take a vinyasa, feel free. Letting the heels press into the mat. Once you come to your down dog, look towards your navel. Hug the shoulders towards the hips. Lift the kneecaps by hugging your quads to the bone. Then let the right leg rise. Bring the knee towards your nose, step forward. Let the left knee come down. And we'll work with our blocks here. Okay, so you can take your blocks high side and bring them level with the right thigh or maybe even your hips. We're gonna press down with the hands, look towards the navel, push the shoulders towards the mat. Then inhale, lift the chest, sink into the right knee, and feel into bringing the left knee back. Okay, we'll do the same thing. Tuck the chin, push with the hands, feel the hips lift. And as you inhale, let your hips sink, maybe the feet come further apart. And you can just keep working that. And if you find the shoulders are up in the ears, then it's time to turn your blocks down a level. If you're starting to fold forward, either walk the blocks back a little bit or turn in that high side again. So again, we're just working this pulsation, this pressing down to feel the hips lift, like you're trying to hug your legs together. And as you inhale, let that soften. Let the legs come a little bit apart, but keep the chest lifting. Press down with the hands to keep the shoulders out of the ears. You can just do that pulse a couple more times. If you're able to come comfortably into full Hanuman, you could take the arms overhead, feeling the left thigh turn in. Right now, when you're ready to come out of it, push down with the hands, look towards your navel, squeeze the legs together. And we'll put the blocks aside and sit back to the left heel. And we'll just bring the hands behind, lift the chest a bit. Now you could stay here and draw the right knee in. Then take hold of the outside of the right foot and bring the right hand behind you. If it's uncomfortable on the left knee to do that, just flip the foot so the foot's on the inside. And you could do the same thing. If just being here, just hugging right knee to the chest with the right hand behind you feels good, that's great too. Great. Nice. So we'll come back to center. We'll make our way to this short stance lunge here. And then you can just bring the hands together at the heart for a moment. Feel the shoulders relax, feel the hips tuck down. Then we'll walk the hands forward, curl left toes under, come into down dog. And we'll take the left leg up and back. Bring that knee towards your nose to step forward. Right knee comes down. We'll take our blocks again. Again, you can start high side, level with the left thigh or the hips. Press into your hands, look towards your navel. Squeeze in the thighs together. Then inhale, let that relax to take the right knee back. Left foot might wiggle forward. Press into the hands, tuck the chin, squeeze inner thighs as you exhale. Inhale, let that soften. And just continuing that pattern. Exhale to push into the hands, activating your core. And inhale to find a little more softness. Okay, I would say only flex the front foot if you're able to be in a place where your hamstring feels okay. It's perfectly fine to keep that foot relaxed. We'll work on lifting the kneecap towards the hip instead. And once you find a place where you can settle, push into your hands. Relax the belly, breathe through the front body, let the throat come forward to lift the chin. Turning right knee in a little bit. And exhale, press into the hands, squeeze the legs together to come back up. The blocks aside, sit back to the right heel. Left leg can straighten out. Just bring the hands to the floor behind you, lengthening through the spine. And then again, the right foot can just come to the inside of the left thigh if having the foot behind you is not comfortable. We'll bend the left knee, taking the outside of the foot or hugging the back of the knee. Left hand comes behind you. Push the left hip forward, and if you have the leg lifted, shin parallel to the mat, and it feels okay to straighten the knee, feel free to do that. If you're able to straighten the knee, try to lift the kneecap before you flex the foot. Nice, gently releasing. We'll come into our little narrow stance squat here. Hands on the floor or palms together. Feel the sit bones tuck down and under. Nice. And we'll bring the hands behind and straighten both legs out in front. Relax the feet, relax the knees. Feel the sit bones connecting to the mat. And the crown of the head moves towards your knees, chin tucks towards the notch between your collarbones. Hands slide towards your calves or heels. Hug the shoulder blades down towards the mat and back towards your hips. And just noticing where your spine wants to kink up. In forward bends, I often see chins trying to push towards the knees, which creates a kink in the back of the neck. So if you're feeling that, tuck the chin in towards your throat a little bit. Relax the jaw. Feel the space between the back of your head and your shoulders. Keep holding the feet or the legs and lift the head and shoulders. Nice. Now we'll bring the hands behind, fingers facing forward, bend the knees, and let them come hip distance apart. We'll press the shoulders towards the knees, press the heels into the mat as if you're trying to push them apart, and then feel the pubic bone scoop under and up towards the ceiling. Keep pushing the shoulders forward, let the throat come forward to lift the chin, rather than just letting your head fall back. That way you can still breathe, you can keep your neck safe, you can rock your weight towards your toes as you press your shoulders forward, and as you rock towards your hands, lift the hips a little more. Nice and easy, come on down, and we'll come on to the back. And as your feet come to the mat, let the knees bend, let the palms come together over your chest. Reach for the ceiling so you feel your shoulder blades come off the floor, flatten the lower back. Okay, welcome to stay here, or bring the hands down, let the legs come up. Okay, this is another option where you can stay, or you can press down with the arms, bring the feet towards your head. And as the hips come up, catch your hips with your hands, fingers facing the ceiling. Elbows and shoulder blades hug towards each other. Back of the head presses into the mat. And going deeper, feel the sit bones tuck up towards the ceiling to bring your hands closer to your ribs. Then push the feet away from the head. Take the weight out of the neck. Nice. Now, if you'd like to, you could play with a variation of what we were doing in Hanuman, that splits position. So you could bring one knee toward your forehead, then extend the leg. Maybe the foot touches the floor. The other foot can move away. So feel the left sit bone tuck towards the ceiling, and then a little bit towards the left heel. Feel the right sit bone tuck towards your right heel. Notice if your hips are dropping or twisting. Try to keep them level. Great, then bend the left knee. Bring the legs back up. And we'll change sides. So right knee to the forehead. As you straighten the knee, maybe the foot comes to the floor behind you. Press that sit bone up towards the ceiling. As the left leg drops away, feel that sit bone point towards the left heel. I can feel my right hip wanting to drop, so I'm going to feel a lift through that sit bone a little more. Great, then bend the right knee. Bring the knees together. You can slide the hands to your hips, then bring the knees to the chest. Feet come behind you if you want to come into plow. Then you can straighten the knees and bring the legs together. it feels comfortable, the hands can hold your heels or your calves. Slowly make your way down. Feel each vertebra land. And we'll bend the knees, bring the feet flat to the mat, flatten the lower back into the mat, press the back of the head into the mat, let the arms press into the mat to take you into bridge. Feeling the spine peeling off the mat. And then you can feel into whether you'd like to come into wheel. If you're going wheel, palms to the mat next to your ears, thumbs close to your ears, fingers facing your shoulders, elbows straight up. Now feel the shoulder blades come off the floor. Press your weight towards your feet as you push into your palms to lift the chest and the head. The feet will probably turn out, so maybe turn the heels out. Feel into straightening the knees. And then feel the hips lift away from your ribs. Breathe. And when you're ready to come down, tuck the chin. Slowly come down. Once you land, bring the knees over the hips, hands to the knees or the shins. Pressing the back of the head into the floor, push the knees or shins against the hands. And we'll let the knees gently relax to the chest, take the arms wide. Letting your knees come over to one side. And the side that the knees have turned to, slide that shoulder out from under you a little bit. And if the opposite shoulder is popped up off the ground, turn that palm up and bend the elbow. And if your neck feels comfortable with it, you can look towards the hand that's opposite your knees. Exhale, squeeze the legs together, come center. And then take the legs to the other side, sliding the shoulder that's closest to the knees out from under you. And again, the opposite shoulder can turn, palm up. Maybe look at that hand, and that feels okay. And exhale, come to center. Let the legs straighten out on the floor. If you'd like, you could come to where we began with the feet on the floor and the knees hugging in towards each other. You could even support the backs of your knees with your blocks, or if you have a pillow, you could put that under your knees too. Or you can just simply straighten out. And now we're going to cross the arms over the chest. Press the back of the head gently into the floor and then let that relax. Squeeze your quad muscles, your hamstrings, your glutes. Flex the feet and let that relax. Tighten your belly and then let that relax. Relax your face. Relax your jaw. Feel your eyelids soften. And you're welcome to keep the arms folded across your chest. And let the arms unwind to the floor. And tune in to your spine. As you're lying here in Shavasana, feeling your spine as the horizon where sky and earth meet. Noticing where you might be gripping, holding on. feeling for that equilibrium between earth and sky. And as we tune into this dynamic of heaven and earth coming together within us as our own central channel, spine, we start to feel ourselves as that divine vessel between heaven and earth. Receiving visions from the heavenly realms, finding stability and groundedness for the vision through the earth. Allow your breath to begin to deepen. Feel that invite some movement back to the body. And when you're ready, you can roll to your side. Let your hands help you come up to a seat. And we'll complete our practice with a round of Om. So if you care to join me, just let the hands come together at the heart. Relax the belly and the shoulders. Feel the length of your spine as you take a deep breath in. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. If you're watching live, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. We do have classes available in studio now. So they're hybrid classes where we can have 10 people in the studio as well as people on Zoom. So I'll be teaching tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, which is Saturday morning. So I'd love to see you then, either in person or on Zoom. Have a great day. Take care.